Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Kitty, I'm a fashion stylist, and today we're going to talk about fun alternative fashion brands for he, she, theys and gays. Let's get into it.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
So this is a video all about fun alternative brands. So this is not necessarily like gothic fashion, although some of the brands will have elements of goth and alt fashion. This is more alternative brands that are fun. If you're someone like me, I'm somebody who's a little bit goth, a little bit alt, a little bit streetwear, and I love fashion. I'm an elder emo at heart and I love alternative fashion, but I also love streetwear and sneakers. So these are some of my favourite brands that lean more into the alternative side of fashion, but I love fun brands, ones that do black and white clothing but also do colourful stuff. So this is the fun alternative side of my favourite brands. This is the kind of clothing that is alternative, it's not mainstream as such, it's maybe a little bit bold and a little bit alternative, has like an edge of goth but is not fully black. Brands that do black and white pieces but also do fun, colourful pieces. So starting off with the first brand is Lazy Oaf. I think that couldn't be more obvious. Lazy Oaf are such a fun and alternative brand. They've been going for so long and I've pretty much been following their entire journey ever since the MySpace days when I was a little emo kid, and I followed them to this huge brand that they are now. They're a global brand, they're amazing, the quality is so good. I know that people have mixed opinions on the quality, but I still think the quality is amazing, and they just have such good, interesting pieces every single season. The design aesthetic is alternative and fun. They have a lot of colourful pieces. It is definitely trend-led, but also they have their own aesthetic. Their smiley happy faces is something they're really well known for example. Everything has like a cutesy element to it at the same time as kind of like a grungy element as well. A juxtaposition, which I think is what makes it alternative and also fun at the same time. They don't just make gothic black alternative clothing, they make fun clothing that people of an alternative nature love to wear. I love their Happy Sad collection. I thrifted one of their scarves recently. Where has it gone? So here is my Happy Sad scarf. It's black and white, and one side it's got a white background with black faces, and the other side, which is my favourite, is the black side with the white faces. They are so known for their Happy Sad faces. They do this print, and it's such a simple print. They do this print on dresses, on skirts, on jumpers, on t-shirts, on homeware. They've got throws. I've got one of their throws, but it's not Happy Sad face. It's like Lazy Oaf in green and purple with like cool lettering. I've been buying their dresses especially for absolute years. It's not a cheap brand, but I wouldn't say it's extremely expensive either. It's not designer prices, but it is not high street prices. It's somewhere in the middle, and a lot of these brands sit around that price point because they're all independent brands that I'm going to be talking about today. So that's number one, Lazy Oaf. They do menswear, unisex fashion and women's wear and homeware and even pet wear for your dogs. Or your cats. Actually, I don't know. I guess it depends if your cat fits into it. But I know they do doggy little outfits, which is super cute. Next one is Unif, which I think is such a great brand. I, again, have been loving this brand for absolutely years. I have a few pieces in my wardrobe. They were iconic in the Tumblr days. Hayley Williams from Paramore wore their iconic pastel jacket back in the day on one of their music videos, which all over the internet, especially on Tumblr back in the day. They are really well known as doing this kind of like retro vintage alternative fashion vibe. Their chunky heels are what they're most known for more than anything. Their chunky boots, which so many other brands have ripped off. The quality is really good. Again, I have one of their pastel jumpers, which is so perfect, and annoyingly I got stains on it, but I've had it for like 8 years and it's still an amazing quality jumper, even though I've got stains on it. I've now covered them up with patches, but that's anyway. They make this kind of hippie retro alternative fashion that lends itself to fitting into so many people's wardrobes. They do amazing skirts, amazing cardigans. Their knitwear is always so incredible. The inspiration, they definitely draw from the 60s and the 70s, I'd say, but with a modern alternative twist. I think that it can fit into a gothic wardrobe, like a streetwear wardrobe, and somebody who is definitely like a hippie alternative vibe. It's perfect for them. I love some of their pieces, and if you're eclectic like me, then you will also love their pieces, especially their shoes and their boots. They're just so perfect. The shoes and the boots lend themselves definitely to like everybody who likes a chunky shoe, which I think is any alternative person that loves a chunky shoe. They are the chunky shoe brand. I actually don't own a pair of their shoes. They're so perfect, but they're quite expensive and they're an American brand, so it can be hard to get hold of, but I love Unif. So Lazy Oaf are an English brand. Unif are an American brand. I'm moving on to another American brand, Shop Tunnel Vision. They are so cool. They do everything in limited runs and it sells out so quickly. They have their own designed collections as well as selling a lot of thrifted clothes, which is super cool. Everything is curated really well in their own aesthetic. It's similar to Unif, I'd say, in that same kind of hippie punk alternative vibe with like fun colors, and they have everything that can fit somebody who is like more gothic and loves to wear like black clothing, someone who likes more colorful stuff, but it all has the same kind of like vibe, flares, cool skirts, like knee-length skirts, that kind of thing. They make incredible jewelry, similar stuff but cooler than what I'm wearing right now, but this kind of vibe, like chunky silver jewelry with cool pendants. Everything's quite punk rock. And they also have a really cool ethos about the company. I think this is right. I think the CEO gets paid the same as everybody else in the company, so it's like an equal living wage. Something like that. Go and check them out online, but I know they're very like eco and ethical in their like model as a company. They don't love the word sustainable, I think is what they've said before, but they are very sustainable in comparison to a lot of brands in many ways. But yeah, I really, really love their limited edition collections that they do. I just wish I could get my hands on anything in my size ever. But definitely check out Shop Tunnel Vision. I've got like one of their tops which I thrifted, which I'm worried isn't even authentic, which is annoying. You never know in the UK because they're an American brand. But anyway, love their stuff, love their jewelry. Another American brand is iGirl. She thrifts, but she also in a similar way does have her own limited edition collections. She does a lot of jewelry, again similar to Shop Tunnel Vision, but it's iGirl jewelry. Again, it's kind of like similar chunky silver pieces, but with like a punk rock emo vibe. I really love her curated collections of vintage stuff, but I also love her own designed collections that she does too. Everything has like a MySpace throwback emo vibe to it. She's really into like the early 2000s and the 90s and the mid 2000s, and that's kind of where the design sits. She has the most cool like alternative gothy like emo MySpace queen kind of vibes with like a hint of high fashion. Her own personal style is so interesting. So definitely check out iGirl. Again, all of those brands that are American, the only thing about it is that you've got to pay the import duty sometimes. You don't always get hit with an import duty charge, but at the same time, they're not stupidly expensive brands, so it is worth it because you're going to get something that is independent and cool, and not everybody else in the UK is going to have it. So that's why I love those brands. Okay, moving back on to some UK-based brands. Maddie Page Knitwear is someone who I found over the pandemic, and I love her stuff. I still have yet to purchase something for myself just because I have so many clothes and I'm trying so hard to get rid of pieces so that I can make space for new pieces in my wardrobe. But the next time I do buy myself, but the next time I do buy myself something, I do want to grab something from her. Everything she makes is made by her. It's upcycled fashion. She takes really cool old material and old t-shirts and jumpers and she refashions them into new ones. I'll give you some examples obviously on the screen. Everything from like strawberries to leopard print is kind of like my favorite pieces that she does. She makes stuff that's really cute, but it has like a way of lending itself to an alternative wardrobe in a really fun way. So definitely check out Maddie Page Knitwear for someone independent. Everything is sustainable because it's all made by hand by her. It's not really expensive, but it's not like super cheap. I think it's a really good price point actually. She's most known for the tops that she makes, and she does them in this really cool way. For example, she'll take like a leopard print piece of material, create like a heart, and then she'll put pins all around it and it will be like a different colour on the rest of the top, or make multiple patched work pieces all around it. Really nice, like going out cutesy tops. Definitely check her out. Another handmade, sustainable, independent brand from the UK that I absolutely love, and I have got something from them myself, is My Purpus. Honestly, absolutely love her stuff. It is so cool. She's really well known as doing those t-shirts, which now I know loads of people do, where it's like t-shirts turned into dresses. It's like a band shirt and it'll have like the puffy sleeves and like the floaty skirt, and it's super cute, and it'll have like checker print, and then like that will be juxtaposed against like the band print t-shirt. She kind of started that off. I'm sure there were other people that did it as well, but she was one of the most like well-known people for starting off that trend. Got an itch here. But now she does loads of other things, and I collaborated with her on a dress which I absolutely love. Okay, so this video unfortunately took a turn. It's a new day, I'm in a new outfit. I was filming, everything seemed to be filming absolutely fine. I use my phone as like a screen for my camera. I use an Olympus Pen EPL9 to film with. Anybody who's got any tips. It said that I was filming, and at the end I took a picture to like have a thumbnail for the video. It let me take a few, so I got like 5 pictures, and then it said like storage is full, but the video just wasn't there. That's fun, but we're back, and I want to carry on with what I was saying, which is my Purpus. This is the dress that I collaborated on with her. So this is the kind of like t-shirt dress that I was talking about. So usually what people do is they either pick one pre-made by her, or they send her a t-shirt and then she turns it into like this style of dress. But what I did, and then she like adds on, so usually it's like a t-shirt with a print here, and it will be like a checkered print or a leopard print or whatever material here and here. But I sent her all of the material myself. She didn't use any of her own, so very sustainable. I had loads of t-shirts that like I like, but they were the wrong fit, or I just didn't really wear them anymore, or I had cut them up previously and I didn't like the way that I didn't wear that kind of stuff anymore, like the way I'd cut the collar or whatever. So I was like, okay, I love these bands, so let's turn this into something I can actually wear. And so I've got this like patchwork dress. Let me bring it a little bit more closer to you guys. Can you see? I love it. I think it's so cool. So this was like a stripy t-shirt that I had, that I have like loads of stripy t-shirts. So I was like, okay, let me give you this. And she also put a bit of that into the dress itself. So there's like a panel of that material here, and there's a little panel down there, which I think is really cool. A lot of these t-shirts are super old, like my MySpace era. But the main t-shirt that we use is not super old. It's only like a few years old, and it's from one of the last House of Vans shows that I went to in London. If you're based in the UK or you're familiar with House of Vans around the world, we had one in London for years, but unfortunately now, sadly, it has closed down. But I went to this No Warning and Candy show. No Warning and Candy are hardcore bands. I love hardcore music, and I got this t-shirt, and it's a size medium, which fits me fine, but I love to either have something that's really small and tight and wear it as like a little crop top, or something that's really big and baggy and oversized. When they did these shows at House of Vans, they always did these free gifts, which was so sick. You get posters or t-shirts, and you have to queue up, and by the time I queued up, they only had size medium left, which again, like I say, it fits me, as I was like, okay, I'll take it, but it's not like the size that I love to wear, and it was quite a fitted medium, so I thought it was perfect for the base of this dress. I love how she does these like frilly sleeves. And then, yeah, these are loads of different t-shirts that I love from back in the day. So this one here is a Misery Signals t-shirt. Do you remember this style? It was like such a thing in the MySpace era of doing these like cutesy metal t-shirts and like pastel colours. So there's that one. I've got the Used, Iconic. Over here, I've got Ozzy Osbourne, which again, that's not like a super old t-shirt, but like, I don't know. I didn't wear it so much anymore, so I was like, let's put it in here. And then on the back I've got two Under Oath t-shirts, which I absolutely love. So there's this one here, this Under Oath t-shirt, and that was like cut up and cropped so much. So this is a bit of material for one of my other t-shirts she's like put together to make the panel. And then this was kind of iconic. It's another Under Oath top, but it wasn't a t-shirt, it was a polo neck, which I would never wear. It was actually given to me by like one of my ex-boyfriends. He was like, I never wear this, it's too small for me, you can have it. But then I was like, I don't really wear a polo neck, but it's iconic, and I absolutely love Under Oath. So yeah, little dedication to Under Oath on the back there. And yeah, that is the full dress, and I just think it's so great because no one else in the world will have this. Okay, next up on my list are, I think, a really obvious UK brand, the Ragged Priest. I've been buying from them for absolutely years, and I love how everything they do kind of like lends itself again to like every kind of different alternative person, if that makes sense. They are more of a women's wear brand, but they do menswear now as well, and obviously you can wear whatever gendered fashion you want. Who gives a shit? What I think they do really great are two things. Cargos, they always do really good like baggy and like alternative style like cargo trousers every season for years, on and off, like different kinds. So they've done the ones that are kind of like the rave pants with like the tassels, the denim ones, etc. I just think they always do those really well. I had a pair that were like a black mesh, and they were double lined, so they weren't see-through, but it just looked really cool, but they were slightly too small for me, so I had to get rid of them, which is a shame. But one thing that I absolutely love from them is also their knitwear, and they always do really good striped knitwear, like contrasting stripes, and I collect contrasting striped knitwear, have done like since I was about 18. I absolutely love it. So I've got a couple of pieces from them like that, which I think is great. And yeah, they have that kind of like way that they can blend themselves more into like almost streetwear, alternative fashion, and then more like gothic and even like pastel girly alternative fashion. I think they're a really great brand. They're based in Essex in the UK. I know that a lot of their stuff used to be made there, but I don't know if it still is. Price-wise, again, I'd say they're similar to Lazy Oaf. They're in that kind of middle ground that most of these brands are. It's not super cheap, but it's not really expensive. However, in their sales, the stuff does get really cheap, so always look out for their sales. Okay, one more clothing brand. It is British based, and I absolutely love them. I have yet to get myself something. I really want something from them. but I have just been loving every collection they do recently. Actually, I'm going to do 2 more clothing brands because there's another one that's similar and people will scream at me if I don't say it. But yeah, the one I was going to say right now is Named Collective. I've been using them in my styling work with Noah Fintz. We got Noah a whole lot of gifting from them and I absolutely love every piece. He looks so sick in it. He has like a red 2-piece tracksuit. I got him this bag which is like a little like plushy bag. It's so cool. They are quite gothic, but at the same time they're like fun and they're very much like a streetwear brand. They do a lot of tracksuits, t-shirts, bags, that kind of thing, but they manage to like sit between the streetwear and the alt world, which is my favourite thing. And really similar price point. Their tracksuits, I'd say they're kind of expensive, but they're really thick, really good quality. I know even though I don't have any myself, I have used them, I've touched them, I've physically seen them, I've used them in my styling work, so I can vouch for the fact that they're very good quality. Final clothing brand is obviously Drop Dead. People will kill me if I don't put them in here. I always think of them as being like a super kind of like alt goth brand, but actually, realistically, they sit more in between that kind of like goth, fashion, alternative streetwear vibe. I know that Ollie really loves high-end fashion as well as streetwear, and yeah, he over the years, her brand has progressed from being just like a t-shirt brand into this incredible full collection. Every season there is so much detail put into every collection, and again, the quality is so good. I've worked with them on and off over the years. I have quite a lot of pieces from them and they are all such good quality. They've lasted me and they're still really good condition. The price is again very similar, that kind of middle ground of not being too cheap but not being stupidly expensive. But I'd say it's definitely worth it, and I just love how they again manage to sit between that like fashion brand meets alternative fashion brand meets streetwear. I love all the collaborations that they do, like the Gizmo one they did a few years ago was so sick. I've got a Sonic collaboration that they did ages ago, and shout out Ollie Sykes, he's a legend. So yeah, those are the fashion brands, and I want to talk about one more shoe brand. Well, I'm going to mention a few shoe brands, but one in particular. There are so many fun alternative footwear brands, but also there are just so many alternative footwear brands that whether you're like a colourful girl or an alt goth girl or a streetwear girl that like you still like, if that makes sense, and you're aware, for example, New Rocks, doesn't matter what kind of style you have, literally every alternative person has a pair of New Rocks now. But the brand that I wanted to highlight is Koi, K-O-I. They market themselves as a vegan brand because they don't use any leather or any animal materials within their products, which is great. They're not a sustainable brand, and those things don't always go hand in hand, but you can't tick every box every time. They are quite a good price point actually. They're not stupidly cheap, but they're basically very inexpensive for an alternative shoe brand. So it's nice that they are accessible. They are being highlighted for the specific reason they don't just make like goth alternative shoes, they make fun and colourful shoes as well, and they also make trainers. So I think they're a really good hybrid brand for like anybody that is a little bit of a mix of alternative style. I absolutely love their boots. I have a pair that I have worn to death, and now I'm really sad because the sole has just come away, but I think I've been wearing them for like 1.5 2 years maybe, literally all of the time. So that's kind of the quality. It's not like, I have heard people say that they don't last very long, but I mean if you're wearing them constantly, I did for 2 years, I still think 2 years is quite a good amount of time because of the price. If you're buying high street footwear anyway, you get something that is a little bit more individual and fun. They do some really wacky designs sometimes, and they've done some really cool collaborations with people. That is my roundup of fun alternative fashion brands. Let me know which ones you would add to the list. There are loads, but these are like my favourite at the moment, and ones that I wanted to highlight to people that might not have heard of them yet. Also, shout out to the other alternative fun girlies. If you like a little bit of streetwear and you like a little bit of alternative goth fashion, but you also like girly fashion too, and you're somewhere of a hybrid like me, please comment below. Where are my friends? Where's my gang? I want to find the people that like the same things as me. I obviously love sneakers and streetwear, and I talk about that a lot on this channel and on the rest of my social media, but like my core style is a combination of those three. I'm a ganny girl meets a goth girl meets a streetwear girl. Barbie meets Ken. So yeah, actually not Ken. Barbie meets Skater Boy. That's me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps me so much on this channel. It takes so much effort to put these videos together and edit them and put them out. And I just want to get more in the swing of it. So if this reaches more of you, please leave me a comment below and let me know to keep my momentum up, to keep me doing this, because I want to do this all the time. I love talking about fashion on this channel. I'm also plant-based and gluten-free, and if you'd like me to do videos about that on this channel, please let me know in the comments, because I'm like, maybe I should just keep it to fashion, but yeah. Peace out, see you in the next video, and I hope you have a lovely day.